everybody, it's time for Taste of Nashville. Guess what edition?
One guess.
Well,
You got horns on. Oh, no, those are bunny, not horns.
no, they're covering up my horns.
Or they-
These are bunny ears.
There's
We got
another
some
story
for-
for another time. But
We got some for you. We got some.
I know, but I got the moose in, and I don't have many hairs to move anymore. So
Oh, stop.
know.
Hey, but we both got the velvet memo.
we do. My wife was wondering what I was doing, and I said, I'm shooting a show with Devon this month, and she said, I thought somebody shot the drapes. Well, no, I thought I'd wear this velvet coat. So you look good, real fuzzy.
Well, at least we didn't do the Carol Burnett thing, come with the drapes and the rod still in them.
That-
Remember
yeah,
the Carol
yeah,
Burnett
you
bit?
wrapped up. Yeah, no, that was good stuff. But happy spring to you, and this is going to be a dynamite show.
I know. Happy Easter to everybody. And the reason for this season, we're going to be talking about that later in the show. But first, the reason for any season is the food at the Omni. Chef Joe joins us. How are you, Chef Joe?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are y'all?
We're good. I
Chef-
think you're exhausted, actually, after doing. Oh, you have people, right?
Yeah,
You have
absolutely.
people.
And we love what we do. So anytime an opportunity like this comes around, we grab the bull by the horns or the Easter bunny by the ears. Per
Okay.
se. So
Oh, there's laws against that, but well, anyway.
anyhow.
Yeah, you're going to keep pointing out my horns
I do.
all the time. Chef Joe Burgoyne is with us, and he is part of the incredible staff here at Kitchen Notes, the best food in Nashville. I think it's just so good.
Well, thank you.
Okay, let's start at the biscuit bar.
Yeah, absolutely. So we pride ourselves in our biscuits, of course. Kitchen Notes is very well known for that. So we obviously always are going to have your typical buttermilk biscuit here, real classic Southern tradition. Right next to it here is our gluten-free biscuits. Something we definitely pride ourselves on is making sure we can accommodate all guests with allergens or dietary restrictions. And then we always have a fluctuating sweet and savory as well. So this week for sweet, we're doing a blueberry and honey, and we also have a pimento cheese biscuit here for savory.
Pimento cheese biscuits. You can't be Southern without pimento cheese.
Can't
I'm
go
just saying.
wrong. The problem is not the problem. The challenge is having this like early on in the feast, and then you got to keep room.
Correct. Yeah. You need to pace yourself, just because I could just slap, hundreds of biscuits in one sitting, and then next thing you know, my entree is ruined. But definitely come in and try it out. It's something we pride ourselves in.
Well, if you're Southern, you don't even have to save room. It's just part of the sopping. It's the sopping thing. And look, speaking of sopping, when you get the shrimp and grits, let's talk about that for
Absolutely.
just a second.
Yeah, so first off, it's with the grits. We get it from a local company, Weisenberger. Stone ground, nice coarse grain to it. And then the shrimp itself is a really nice pickup. It's kind of a play on a classical French beurre blanc, if you will. So we started off with rendering out that country ham and really getting those salty flavors out. And then we'll slap in the shrimp, followed by some shallots and some garlic. And then we deglaze with white wine, hit it with a little bit of tomatoes. So we do confit tomatoes, fresh diced tomatoes as well. And then we finish it with a little charred lemon juice to give it some zing, if you will. And then a little parsley and chervil thyme mixture on top to make it pop.
It's popping. It's
Yeah,
popping.
exactly.
For the Cajun girl in me, I'm just like going, "Yeah."
Absolutely.
It looks so good. I like it said, round it down. If you're in the South, you say you round it down.
Yep, absolutely.
You round it down that ham and that bacon shy.
And then
oh my gosh, looks so good.
We bring it all together with butter. You can't have it without butter. So, yep.
It's glue.
Exactly.
Everything's better with
Yep.
butter, baby.
Yep.
Now the best hamburgers ever, and there's a reason
Correct.
for that.
Yeah, and it's because we keep it pretty simple. We don't really church it up too much, but our burgers do come from Black Hawk Farms, and they've been a great purveyor, if you will, to us. They've been taking care of us for quite some time now, and we believe in the product that we buy. So it all starts with that, and then we have our classic American cheese on there. We do whiskey caramelized onions on there. A secret burger sauce that I can't really tell you what's on there, and then a beautiful heirloom tomato, some Bibb lettuce, perfectly butter toasted brioche. The brioche bun comes from Frothy Monkey, which is a local company.
That's all locally sourced. I love the fact, and by the way, a lot of burger places, they feel like more is better, and it's not. That's just about right.
Correct.
Right?
Yep,
It's like
exactly.
8, 10, I don't know.
You want to be able to have everything in one bite instead of, maybe having to pick through it. So you want to find that nice balance where it's tall and appealing, but you also don't want to be fumbling around with it the whole time.
And then this is what I call the diet. This is like when
There
I
you
go and I
go.
go, I don't want to do the burger. I want to do this sandwich, of course, is got a lot of flavor.
Yeah,
What is
so
that?
this is our club sandwich, and this is probably one of our most popular menu items, especially for lunch. So again, the bread comes from Frothy Monkey. This is a multi-grain bread, and then a lot of this is locally sourced. We have Applewood smoked bacon on there, and then the Gouda cheese comes from Kenny's Farmhouse. The turkey we smoke in-house, so we rub it down for a day, smoke it off, finish it off in the oven, let it cool properly, and then we'll slice it on the deli slicer. And then the sauce is on there. We have a nice smooth avocado puree on there, along with, yeah, exactly, and along with a Creole mustard aioli. And then we have Bib lettuce and heirloom tomato as well. So it's one of my favorites as well. I mean, you really can't go wrong when you're coming into Kitchen Notes, but the sandwiches here are phenomenal.
They really, really are. And you have a world famous brunch that is here at the Omni and Kitchen Notes. It is the place to have brunch. Now, if you're planning Easter brunch, you snooze, you lose, baby.
SOL, yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
SOL. You do.
You get the horns on. I mean, I can go there.
We're on the intranet, so I'm guessing it's okay. But you actually said it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're out. You're shooting out of
said that
luck.
out
Yeah,
loud.
yeah. But it is. By the way, we threw in this. This is. I don't want to.
Yeah, so this is just a typical side salad. Right now we're doing it with confit tomatoes, some fresh cucumber, some freshly saved fennel a la minute, and then it's a white balsamic vinaigrette that we accompany it with.
Which you can just drink.
Exactly.
It's just so good.
This is just so you can sleep at night.
Correct. Exactly.
No,
Just
it's
doing that.
It's good. It's good. I know that.
Hey, but if somebody does want to come to brunch here, you've got something special that's happening because it's so popular now.
It's been very popular, so much so that Fridays are now open for all-day brunch, which is awesome. So
Open to close brunch.
correct, yeah. From 7 to 2, you can hit up our breakfast buffet, or you can, get a cheeseburger at 6:30 in the morning. So.
Oh, wait. Breakfast buffet? You have a buffet here at Kitchen Notes?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. And one of my favorite things we're putting out there right now is our cast iron pancake. So we take our pancake batter and put it in a big old cast iron pan, bake it off low and slow in the oven, and the texture on it is supreme. It's something out of this world. Chef Welch brought me onto it. I was skeptical at first. I'm a believer now.
So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday you can get brunch, not just on Sunday. And what are the hours? It's
So
open, closed.
Friday breakfast opens at 6:30. Our buffet doesn't open until 7, but it will go till 2. Saturday it's from 7 to 2, start to finish.
I think that's so smart because as we go through, I don't know about y'all, but through the COVID and all this, there's a 4-day work week. There's a lot of locals. I just experienced this trying to find some places. When I hijacked Kitchen Notes, bar lines rather.
Yep.
I may have dropped a name or two, and they let me in anyway.
Nice.
But I think there's a lot of locals that want to do a brunch, and I think a Friday is now in play.
Absolutely. And, we found ourselves turning away business because people want breakfast. It is a party town, let's be honest. And so some people aren't rolling out of bed till 11 o'clock. They want breakfast. So we all kind of collectively came together and just pulled the trigger on it.
Mm-hmm. And you can get a Bloody Mary.
Correct. Yep.
Just
You got to stay hydrated. So that's all part of it. So if you're watching this and you're saying, I'm going to jump on this for this Sunday, ain't going to happen, right? I mean, but you can. This is going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday throughout the.
Correct,
Not just
yeah.
on Easter Sunday.
Yep. So unfortunately, there is a big holiday going on this upcoming Sunday, and if you missed the ticket, I apologize. However, Mother's Day is coming down the pike, so we're taking reservations soon. I would suggest to jump on it as quick as possible.
That's it. Get reservations. They do take them here. So many places in Nashville don't take reservations. Right. Look, you can plan ahead and literally drive up, act like y'all somebody, throw those keys to that valet here at the Omni Nashville, and you just feel special because you come into Kitchen Notes and you got your name on the list.
Absolutely, yeah. Makes you feel warm and welcome, like you're stepping into Grandma's house,
That's good. How far out do you think, if people are watching this going, I got something in August or September, how far out can you make them? Do you know?
Reservations? That's a really good question. I would assume probably like a month.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you don't get a reservation, you're what?
You're out of luck. We try to keep it G-rated, family-oriented. I'm already on probation, I think, with Devon. So
No. That's the highlight of my day. I love it.
you have
Hey,
a low bar.
I actually do. We're going to be right back. Thank you, Chef Joe.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank
Hey,
you
when
very
we
much.
come back, we're going to be visiting the sweet sounds of my brother. I just adore him. Chris Golden will be with us with some music for us here on Taste of Nashville. Stay with us.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Everybody, welcome back to Taste of Nashville. John Dwyer with Devon O'Day. We're at the Omni Hotel. Kitchen notes. Beautiful spread here. Don't think about getting brunch reservations. You're going to have to do that for 2024, I think, for Easter. But we have a great
Easter,
show,
right.
and we have a wonderful guest, a dear friend of yours.
Oh, absolutely. He's family. He's family. Chris Golden, William Lee Golden, and the Goldens, and your own solo career. Welcome, brother. How are you?
I'm delighted to be here, Devon. I am. I don't get a chance to come downtown too much, so this is fun for me.
Well, because you're keeping the roads hot. I mean, you have been everywhere.
I've been blessed. You know, it's been a great year, a great couple of years. After the whole shutdown, music was deemed non-essential, and we all got sent home for a while. But people that knew our family, music is very essential to us. It's like air and water. Got to have it every day, and but we're kind of making up for lost time now. So
Well,
been busy doing 2 or 3 different projects, you know.
when the Goldens get together, I want to know, everybody celebrates Easter differently, but what is a big holiday, like an Easter celebration, like for the Golden family?
Well, it has evolved through the years. From when we were small, it was, there were no plastic eggs when I was young. It was the real ones, and you would find some a little while later that you didn't want to put in the potato salad.
No, you didn't.
They wouldn't be as fresh as these here, but we would color the eggs and do all that. Somebody'd go out and hide them, and then as my kids grew up, we would hide them. And I've always had to have 3 golden eggs, and I was kind of I had 3 kids, so we had 3 golden eggs. And out at my dad's house, they used to do a big. It was an egg hunt, but each egg led to another clue. It would have a clue inside.
Like a scavenger hunt.
It was a scavenger hunt, and the last egg would be where the basket of gifts were, and so they would have this basket full
Yeah,
of
darn
gifts
it.
for the kids and all.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now those kids are all grown up, and so the great grands are coming around now, and for my dad, it's my brother's grandchildren, and so they still get together out there, and then we have a big meal. We all have, just like these people have their recipes that they do, we have family recipes that have been coming down for a long time, and we get together. We did have, I remember when I was young, we used to have the big dinner on the grounds and stuff like that at our home church. And this is down in Bruton, Alabama, where my people are from, and it's where we all come from. And my kids had never experienced anything like that. So I sort of headed it up. I said, hey man, it's been a long time since we did like a dinner on the grounds down here. Why? And so we kind of got it together and did it for an Easter here just a few years back, to where everybody brings a covered dish, and we have a little extra singing on Sunday morning and all fellowship. A lot of times at church, people are stiff and, stuff like that. But you start sitting around having a meal with them, and that's when you can really get to know people, even if it's your own family, So we still, I hope to get to participate in another one of those while I'm still on this earth,
What's
Those are some
so
of my greatest memories, yeah.
What's so cool too is that with the William Lee Golden and the Goldens Project, that's your daddy, that's your generation, it's your brothers,
Right.
and now your kids have come along.
3 generations, yeah. We got to do during the pandemic. Like I said, it was the first time we'd all been home. We were all, my dad's still with the Oak Ridge Boys. They still do, 120 dates a year, something like that. And my brother Rusty was overseas. My kids are all in school. I was doing a solo thing myself, touring, but we found ourselves all at home for a while. And it didn't take too long before we started needing to make music. So Dad called us over to get around the piano and said, "Hey, man, we've got to keep our chops up. So let's sing. We'll have church here. We'll start singing here." And one thing led to another. We started singing all the songs we loved to sing and grew up doing, learning songs that Dad, I didn't even know that he wanted to do. And we wound up going into the recording studio and recording 34 songs together as a family. And it's really special. I call it a musical heirloom. That's kind of what it is for us,
It truly is.
Wonderful. You talked about 2 or 3 other projects going on in your life right now. What do you got going?
Well, I do a solo thing. I don't know. I play music and sing on my own time and do my own little tours. Then we have the family band. We've just started touring together again with that. We got dates coming up next month in Texas. Got a string of dates. We're going to be in Georgia, Alabama, Texas, and are still booking dates with the Goldens. I'm going everywhere from Montana to South Florida this year, so I'm doing that. And in the Cracks, I'm doing a project. I have a little record, like most people on every block in this town, I have a recording studio in my home. My whole house is a house of music, so I've been recording other people, and I record for myself. I'm working on a project right now with my daughter Elizabeth. It's somewhere between bluegrass and Broadway, which is
This is awesome.
pretty wild, pretty wide spot. But she's super talented and loves to play and sing and plays fiddle, and so I'm working on a project for her. I record a lot of different people in my home, and produce.
As you get your guitar,
All right.
I keep hearing people. I remember playing the Bluebird with you, and Eric Silver was playing guitar for me, and he said, "I had no idea how musical Chris was." And I said, "He plays every instrument, just about every instrument known to man, and it's always a treat to hear you play."
Well, I've been blessed to make music for a long time, and I've had the opportunity to play with 3 of the greatest bands in country music, which was Alabama, Restless Heart, and the Oak Ridge Boys. And after y'all hear me play this guitar, you're going to know why all 3 of those had me on the drums. Right? You guys want me to sing something?
Yes, I want to sing.
I went down to the church with my neighbor, 'cause I feel I had lost my way. The preacher said, "Son, you've been a stranger. Won't you think about the words I said today? When your feet hit the floor in the morning, take a moment to be thankful for each breath. And if you have someone to hold and you love them, let them know, 'cause you don't know how many days you're gonna give. And may the sun always shine through your window, and a song always play in your head. And when you're looking back, I hope you'll be thankful and grateful for the road that lies ahead. When the storms blow out power in the summer, light a candle and listen to the rain. When the weather turns cold, let the kids track in the snow. 'Cause the truth is, you're gonna miss it someday. And may the sun always shine through your window, and a song always play in your head. And when you're looking back, I hope you'll be thankful and grateful for the road that lies ahead. Be grateful for the road that lies ahead. That's it.
You know, if that drumming thing doesn't work out, I think you got another career or two in you. My goodness.
I don't know.
Chris Golden, everybody. ChrisGolden.net.
That's how I'm easy to find. I'm everywhere. I'm kind of like the Easter Bunny. Always busy.
Always busy.
Always busy.
Chris Golden, get his music. His new single is called Prodigals, and you can find that. It's #1 coming up on all the Christian country charts. And we are so glad that you joined us today.
Thank you, Devon.
Hey,
John.
when we come back, we're going to be visiting with Mickey Bell, comedian Mickey Bell, who's been on the road with Shonda Pierce and opening for Jason Crabb. He actually was scheduled to be on the Huckabee Show, so we're going to do that interview, and it's out of office. It's in our studios in Old Hickory, Tennessee. So we're going to join him next.
And when we return, we're going to be about 3 biscuits shy.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
We are here with Mickey Bell. I call him my little brother.
Yes.
But I do it for a reason, because from the minute I met you, I had a connection with you, because we both are connected through a couple of things. One is humor.
Yes. Got to have humor. Got to have humor. If you're going to make it in this life, you got to learn how to laugh. If you're going to have pain in this life, you got to learn how to laugh, or you're never going to make it.
That's true. It's true. Now, you have been on stage. Now, this year's been a great year for you.
It has.
Opening for Shonda Pierce. Now, if you're going to be in clean comedy, she is the queen of clean.
She's the queen of clean, and she invited us to come out, and we did 25 dates, I think, with her, and it was just great. Never seen that many women in one place, but that was fine. We had a great time, and she kind of poured into me a little bit on that trip and just kind of got me into the groove, and it was a good time.
And also being on the road with a Grammy Award-winning singer, Jason Crabb. Now, you and Jason Crabb have had a long-standing relationship of joy.
We have. Jason and I, we actually started during COVID. The year was 2020, just in case y'all forgot. The year was 2020, and we were actually going in and helping churches reopen, those that had shut down because of the virus. We were actually going in and we were doing some free concerts to help churches reopen. And he left his bus at home. I didn't have a bus at the time. And so we just really got to know each other. Or I say no, we got to know each other better. And then we just became really close. And now we're family. So we always love it when we get to be on the road with Jason.
My favorite thing is when you ask him about his school mascot.
Jason, we always have that moment, and people say that it's their favorite part of the concert, and that's when Jason calls me back up on stage with him, But that is his most nervous moment because he just never knows what I'm about to do. And my goal is to just mess him up. My goal is to just make sure that he gets so uncomfortable. And I usually do it. And one night we were at a concert and I don't know, we got to talking about something on stage and I just looked at him and I wasn't expecting it. He talked about going to school at Beaver Dam High School. And I went, ooh, Beaver Dam? And of course then he said, stop, don't. And then everybody just got to laughing. I just said, well, what's your mascot? And he said, beavers. And I went, oh, good. You should have told me that. You should have told me that. We've had fun with that ever since.
I love the rapport that you have. But as a solo comedian, I mean, you've had some real milestones like in Birmingham, selling out a secular comedy club in minutes.
Yeah, it was my first time there. And I didn't really realize it. I was about to walk out on stage that night. My first time ever performing at the Stardome in Birmingham. First comedy club, first time at Stardome. And the owner, he came backstage, ran backstage right as they were introducing me. He said, hey man, I just want to let you know, you've officially sold out the place. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, and then I went on out and then afterwards he said, I don't think you understand what I said. And I went, you said something about me selling out. And he said, yeah, but you are one of 2 comedians that has ever sold out the Stardome Comedy Club on their first appearance. And I was like, oh, okay. Then it kind of sunk in. And the other comedian, by the way, was Kevin Hart. And so he said for the first appearance to be able to sell it out. And we did it. I mean, it was crazy because we did it on a Tuesday night. So it was a weeknight. It wasn't even a weekend. We did a weeknight. And I just pushed it as clean entertainment, clean comedy. And people responded. And so it was a great night. It was a great milestone within the first year of me doing this. So people are just blown away.
You started doing some more solo things. Recently.
This year.
I'm so proud of you because I'm starting to, and you follow Mickey Bell, on social media, but you just played a theater on your own.
Yes. So there was a radio station in Bristol, Tennessee, and they always had a comedy night every year. Once a year, they would do a comedy night for families. And it's for all their listeners or whatever. They have this Paramount Theater that they it's gorgeous. It's a very nice theater. And so the first year they did it, they had John Crist. Second year they did it, they had Leanne Morgan.
Wow.
Third year was COVID, and fourth year was me.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh. So they called up and they said, could you do a show by yourself? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I could do a show by myself. So we booked it. And then my agent calls me, he goes, do you realize what you've done? I said, no, what? And he goes, they're going to want you to do 90 minutes. I went, what? He said 90 minutes because I'm normally doing anywhere from 20 to 30 when I'm out with other artists on other
90
shows.
minutes is an hour and a half, y'all. It's like, oh my gosh.
A long time. And so so I just immediately started writing and I wrote my butt off, actually, to tell you the truth. I just went into writing and we did it. And it was just, when the thing was over with, it was nice to be at the Paramount. It was nice to do a solo show, but at the end of the night, knowing that I did it. It was just, that's one of the major obstacles for a comedian is to be able to do a show by yourself, carry it that long, and the people love it so much. You know, they standing ovation, they stayed after, they wanted pictures. That meant a lot because it was like, I did it. I
It
did
was
it.
so huge, and I'm so proud of you because when I first met you, you were primarily doing MC work when we first met.
Oh, Devon.
And I've watched you grow and I've watched you just blossom. But I want to ask, because this is Easter and there is the life after death. Let's talk about the dark side of what you have experienced. We see the funny guy. Let's talk about depression because it's important with what's going on in the world.
Absolutely. And it's important in what I do because I never want people to think that I'm just up there trying to make people laugh just to make a living. It pays my bills, but I have a purpose. And my purpose is I'm trying to help every person there. If I can get you to laugh, even if it's just one time, I've proven to you that even through your pain, you can still laugh. And that's what I'm trying to get across to people. So once we tear down the barriers and we have a moment of laughter and we've had a time to where we can just laugh at some stuff, then we talk about my bout with mental illness. We talk about the fact that there were several times where I wanted to end my life. I did not want to carry on, and it was all from church hurt. And so I deal with that, and I talk about it openly. I'm very open about it. I've made some mistakes. And I've made some bad mistakes in my life. And people always ask me, well, what mistakes did you make? And I'm like, buy my first book and you'll find out. Because, I'm not going to tell it to you for free, but for $14.99, you can find out everything I did. But I'm just very open about it, because my thing is, it's one thing to go through hell. It's another thing to go through hell and not come out on the other side bringing people with you. So I am trying to bring as many people out of that dark place as I can. And I feel like God has given us the open door of comedy and humor and laughter to be able to do it. I was talking to my wife. We were talking this week, and she made the comment, and she said, I said, what do you think about all this? Because things are happening so fast.
Yeah.
Like, so fast. And she was like, there are just moments where it's just unreal. She goes, it's weird. And I said, what's weird? And she goes, to call you a comedian. We've been married 25 years. She said, like, it's not like this was a childhood dream. It's not like when we got married, you said, now one day I'm going to become a comedian. She was like, you woke up one day and decided this is what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And she said, and you ran after it. And she goes, I still can't process that. But I feel like that once you get to what you're supposed to be doing in life, like I feel more fulfilled now than I ever have.
It starts rolling, doesn't it?
It does. And then it happens. It just really happens.
Well, you have a musical connection, you have this ability, and you've been a pastor, but now I think minister of laughs. I think that can be your calling.
Absolutely.
Your minister of laughs, Mickey
Well,
Bell.
the scripture talks about, it says that pastors are supposed to equip the saints. And I feel like that's what I'm doing. I don't have to be your pastor of your church, but I can still equip you to learn how to get through the rough patches of life. And I don't have to be a pastor in today's definition to do that.
That's right.
You can just be a clean comedian.
I love it. Clean comedian Mickey Bell. You can find him at themickeyBell.com because there ain't no other one like him.
No. And people said, why are you the Mickey Bell? And I said, because MickeyBell.com wasn't available. So I had to do the. And by the way, you were the one that gave me my award, my very first award for Comedian of the Year, and you're the one that got to present it to me, and I thought that was special.
It was special for me.
Oh,
Special
it
for
was
me
so
because
good.
you've always been in my heart. Once we met, it was just like I just took you in and I said, you're mine. TheMickeyBell.com. Get his books. Go see him if you can. It is clean comedy, not church comedy, clean comedy. There is a difference, and he'll show you when you get to go see him on stage.
No cheesy pastor jokes. No cheesy pastor
Never.
jokes. Never.
Anyway, if you are suffering right now, don't forget there is an important number to call. And remember, 988 is now the universal call. It's like 911 to call emergency help. 988 is the suicide prevention hotline. If you need help, reach out for you or for someone you love. Well, thank you to Mickey Bell. You can find it Mickey Bell Comedy, clean comedy, and you can anywhere you find that he's going to be, make sure you get tickets because clean comedy is sometimes hard to find.
Hard to find these days, and good ones are hard. But yeah, we wish him well.
I know, to go on the road with Shonda Pearson to be picked, that he talk about a high bar.
He had passed some tests, let me tell you.
Well, we wanted to do something special for Easter, and we're talking about, and when Chris Kulik said, do you know a minister that we can get? I said, I know the minister, the one to get. I love this man's heart. I call him you often because Randy Moore in our company in Gallatin, at the Gallatin News, said, once you hear his voice, no matter what bad is going on in this world, Pastor Derek Jackson, your voice calms it and makes you feel better about being people.
Amen.
I'm telling you.
He better talk. Read the phone book.
I know. Pastor Derek Jackson is from the First Baptist Gallatin.
That's correct.
Tell me a little bit about how long you've been a pastor, and you really have become a voice of your community when it comes to when things happen, they come to you.
Well, the Lord has blessed me to be at First Baptist Gallatin this October. Will be 22 years. So that's a blessing. The church is over 150 years old. It was birthed in 1865. And so if the Lord says the same, this September, the church will be 158 years old.
Wow.
And I'm only the sixth pastor in the church's history.
Wow.
So it's a
So
staple.
when you came 22 years ago, and most people say it doesn't matter what I'm good. I'm in for 3 years, right? I'm in for. Did you see this
I did.
as a long-time commitment? Did you?
I did.
You do that?
I did. When I got to First Baptist, I knew it would be a long-term pastorate. And I kind of thought in my spirit at least 40 years. So I was 31. When I got to the church, I would be 53 this July. And so I got probably about 19 more years to go.
So you're past the 50-yard line,
Yeah.
but you're not in scoring range
No,
right now.
no.
No.
Well, it's a powerful place to bring people together in Gallatin. I was listening to some stories of the history of Gallatin on NPR, and they were talking about how many important things had happened for desegregation happened in Gallatin. There's a museum actually in the church at First Baptist Gallatin that Miss Velma Brinkley put together, and it's an amazing story. But when we talk about what's going on in our world right now, and you have a message to bring people together, how do you handle that when people ask you about race relations, when they talk about things that have happened in our world? Like, all I can think about is that's heavy on our hearts is the school shooting that just took place. They come to you and lay a lot of stuff in your lap and say, give us some words, Pastor. So give us some words, Pastor. This is our Easter show, and we need you.
I think, first of all, that we're all one. I believe that with all my heart. I believe solutions are based on all of us, not just a few of us. I think resurrection is a friendly reminder of endless possibilities. We have the possibility to be reconciled to each other, to be restored, to be liberated. All of that goes together. And we live in the greatest country on the face of the earth that has done the greatest good. So if we can't figure this out, if God can't use us to figure this out, who can he use to figure this out? So I believe in the power of we, all of us. And so that's my message, that Jesus Christ at work in each of us can do anything, regardless of past. And I know that we have a tough, complex past, but we also have in my view, a very good past in all of its complexities. And so even with the school shooting, we got to fix that, deal with that, pray for those families. Mm-hmm. But I believe that what the enemy would love to do is just tear us apart internally, and have us fighting against each other and pointing the finger at each other and demonizing each other rather than figuring out how do we move forward that's good and healthy for all of God's children.
Your
and not
words
just
are so weighted. How do you prepare? Do you have it scripted? Is it's going to come to me? Is it a hybrid? I'm just curious. What is your process for coming together and giving a message that's concise and powerful?
Well, it starts with prayer, of course. Prayer with God, spending quiet time with God, and the Holy Spirit often gives me messages from the Word of God. And of course, I always write down what he gives me, and I always go off script because the Holy Spirit is always
Sounds
at
familiar,
work.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, at work.
Maybe.
But God is awesome. God is awesome. And if he gives it to us, I believe it's worth writing it down to preserve it.
When are the services on Easter Sunday at First Baptist Church in Gallatin?
8 o'clock Sunday morning and at 10:45 Sunday morning. We're looking forward to a great day. Those days are normally high times at First Baptist Gallatin.
Oh, it's just beautiful. Pastor Derek Jackson, follow him, and When do you broadcast these on Facebook?
We do. We do.
So you can, wherever you are in the country, you can watch Pastor Derek Jackson, First Baptist Church. Follow them on Facebook so you can see them live. Thank you so much for your time today. God bless you.
Thank you all. Bless y'all. Bless y'all. Keep doing the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Good meeting you.
Good meeting you as well.
Oh, love that.
I don't know who's coming up next, but that's a tough act to follow.
I do. Well, I will
Okay.
tell you that Jesus is coming next. It's the Jesus Ministries, and they're our Citizen of the Month, brought to us by Two Rivers Ford, the Out of the Park Citizen of the Month. And we're going to meet people who are talking, just like Pastor Derek said, the hands and the feet of Jesus in their community in Wilson County.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back. Taste of Nashville. John Dwyer along with Devon O'Day. And if you're not uplifted from this show and some of the good messages and insights that we've had, inspirational, motivational, we have some more.
Oh, we do. And now we're going to go to Wilson County. The very first recipients of the Citizen of the Month, the Two Rivers Ford Out of the Park Citizens of the Month. These are people who are doing the work of Jesus in our community, feeding people. I mean, it starts at the very base, and it's Jesus Provisions Ministry. We have Carrie and Steve and Lindsay. Carrie, Steve, Lindsay. And thank you guys for being here, and congratulations for being voted this, but also just thank you for what you do in our community.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And let me start off by saying we can't do this without a group of volunteers. I call them staff, but we're not paid at all. I guess they're just really volunteers. But she is my assistant, and I couldn't do what we do without her and a couple other ladies that come alongside us and really help us do what we do.
And how did all this start?
A dream.
A dream. Your dream?
He looks at me like I'm crazy.
Oh,
I'm
we're
sound
gonna hear this
asleep
story.
and I had a wonderful dream. I was feeding 1,000 pancakes in my driveway.
Yeah, he wakes me up in the middle of the night. He's like, baby, I had a dream. I'm like, that's great. Go to bed. But then next morning, he kept on with this dream about the pancakes. And he said we were feeding hundreds and thousands of people in our cul-de-sac. And this was in 2019, right before the tornadoes hit. And roughly after that, we opened up Jesus Provision Ministries in September of 2019. And in March of 2020, obviously, the tornadoes hit Mount Juliet. And people were coming with food for people to be able to come and get. And they were like, can we drop it off at Jesus Provision Ministries? Because we have a food pantry there in Mount Juliet. And we were like, sure. And when they opened up the trailer, the very first thing we saw was these huge bags of pancake mix. And he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, oh, dang, the dream.
It ain't no dream no more.
It ain't no dream no more. And after that, we started feeding downtown Nashville. We feed a couple hundred. And then we actually feed in Mount Juliet as well through the food pantry, about 25 to 30 families each week. So lots of people. And then it was funny because on Thanksgiving, I had the vision of 100 families, 100 Thanksgiving meals. And he was like, let's do it in our cul-de-sac. And it made the dream complete. And so people come on the cul-de-sac the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and they pick up their Thanksgiving meal. So we're literally feeding people in our cul-de-sac.
And it doesn't matter where they're from.
No.
It doesn't. You know, I don't care if they're from
Kentucky.
Gallatin. It doesn't matter. It's not just Wilson County. It's everywhere. And to find the people that's down and out right now, it just blows your mind. There's more people that, and she always says downtown, and I've said it, you know, every one of us could be a paycheck away. from being homeless.
Food insecurity affects 1 in 4 children. 1 in 4.
Yes.
I mean, and it's going up every day. And that's just the children.
Yeah.
All of those children have parents and siblings and cousins and people that are in the family. Lindsay, tell us how you got involved with this wonderful thing, because it's a funny story.
So, my family and I moved in the same cul-de-sac as these lovely folks. And that summer, this was, it'll be 3 years ago this summer, they were having a vacation Bible school that they do in their backyard. We do in their backyard now that I'm on the board. And they had all these people volunteering dressed up as minions. And my children were like, "It's a minion party, Mom. We want to go." And I'm like, that is loud and that looks crazy and I don't know these people and you want me to just take you to their backyard? No. But they kept on and they convinced me to go over and talk to the people at the registration table. I went home then and talked to their father. He reached out to some friends. He's from the Nashville area. I'm not. He reached out to some friends who knew of the ministry and vouched for, these are not psychos. They're not going to hurt your children. They just want to teach them about Jesus. So the kids loved VBS. They came home every afternoon telling me what they had learned, so excited to learn about Jesus. And that's not something I had seen before. Yeah. So Carrie then, in her overalls with her minion eye, invited us to their Monday night Bible study. So we started going to that, and then there ended up being some help needed within the Monday night Bible study just to help set up and get things together. So I stepped in to do that because I'm right across the road. And then I got roped into going downtown, and now I'm on the board.
You keep falling up, as we say.
That's how it happens. But you know, and it's our Easter show. Can we talk about the Easter miracle? I know that you were needing some Easter donations because you feed a lot of people on Easter.
Yes.
So what happened?
I believe I started something come over me and I was sitting on my back porch. And I seen what she said, we need this, we need that. And she said, well, you start sharing this on Facebook. So I put my own words in it. And I just asked for 15 cases of water. That's all I asked for. Did not Jesus say, ask and ye shall receive? Oh, I received a lot more than what I asked for.
A skid of water.
A skid of water.
Well,
And the day before, she was asking for hams. And she said, how many did you ask for?
15.
She wanted 15. And all of a sudden, I got, I don't know how many
Like
got
25.
above and over than what we ever needed. And it was unreal. And I said, and I just kept thanking God. I put it on there, God works. And this is how we've always done this these last few years. Just have faith in God, and He handles everything.
Yeah.
What can they do? What do you need most, other than provisions, funding?
Funding.
What's the best way to help your mission move forward?
Funding is always important because the three of us, technically the five of us, we're missing 2 staff members, we know best what is needed within the ministry. Right. People don't understand all the behind the scenes. Like when she came aboard, she was like, oh, I didn't know about that. And I was like, yeah, of course. So funding is always important. Like I said, we are completely 100% nonprofit. None of us make a profit. And so that's important to us in what we do. So funding, they can go to jesusprovisions.org. And then also have local food drives and drop off the food at the food pantry. We are constantly, especially now that summer, I didn't realize it, but summer break is coming up in a month and a half. And these kids will be going hungry in our backyard. And so if they can give peanut butter, jelly, soups, things like that, do a local food drive and drop it off into the center. We're open Monday through Friday from 10 to 5. We do like them to call because it is all ran out of our home. So we would love for them to call.
yeah. Don't show up at 3 a.m. with a big
No.
can of water. I'm just saying it's welcome, but not then. So call first. So Jesus Provision Ministries, you can find you on Facebook.
Yes, Jesus Provision Ministries and Care Center on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat. Yeah, we're on everything. We're on everything.
On everything. Wherever the eyeballs are,
Yes.
that's where they are. You guys are amazing. And thank you to Two Rivers Ford and their Out of the Ballpark. Out of the Park Citizen of the Month is choosing you guys because they're part of our community too and wanted to recognize people doing good. So thank you, Two Rivers Ford, for what you're doing in our community. So, because when you recognize one person, then all of a sudden other good starts popping up and say, hey, and the more you see, the more people want to do, right?
This is fantastic. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we know you're going to have a great Easter, and you're going to help a lot of young people have full bellies this summer that wouldn't otherwise.
Hey, we can
have
always
that.
use volunteers. 8:30 at War Memorial on Sunday mornings. Just put
Join
that
the
plug up.
staff. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. Come on, volunteer.
It will change you.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, we talk about food. There is a young woman who is our server here each and every time we do Taste of Nashville, but she's a recording artist as well. Her name is Kayla Wass, and she joins us. She's going to do live music for us next. She is, talk about food, she brings it to us every week, every time we're here. And so we'll be right back. Taste of Nashville continues.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
John, we have lots of rock stars here.
Oh, yeah, you think so? Every corner, everybody's got, and the level of talent is off the charts, and I have a feeling that we're going to hear a little bit more of that in a few minutes.
A return visit from someone who is with us on many occasions here in this very room for Taste of Nashville. Kayla Wass, how are you? Welcome.
Kayla.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me back again.
Encore.
What is your title here at Omni Nashville?
So I am a server. June will be my 9th year here, and I think 8th year as a server. It allows me to have a great job, but also to do music at the same time too. And the company's been fantastic to me, so I love it.
It's been 9 years.
I know.
It tells you what a great place it is to work. See, that's
Yeah.
the other thing is that nobody stays in this town. Nobody stays if they don't like where they are. And that's what I've noticed over and over and over. The stories about Omni Nashville is that people come here and they stay because it is a great place to work, but it does offer you a chance to write and perform.
Exactly, yes. It's been awesome. And then Todd Rodamel, who is our head of sales and marketing, he has been so amazing with helping me with stuff on the music side and not just the Omni side. So not only are they fantastic with making sure that my schedule can be what it needs to be, they're also helping me get myself ahead a little bit of the game. So thanks, Todd.
So how have you grown? And in 9 years, nobody stays the same. You changed music. You had different influences. What's your
Yeah.
backstory?
Yeah, I definitely, as a kid, I tried to rebuke country music. It was like, no. Like, that's what my parents grew up with. It's what I grew up listening to. I think I spoke on that last time I was here. So I liked everything from rap to emo to pop and all that stuff. But as soon as I got to the end of high school, it was like, no, country's my thing. So I've grown in, my, I guess, abilities. 9 years ago, I didn't play much guitar. So now I play solely for myself. I play a lot of solo gigs and everything like that. So that has certainly changed and grown. And I feel like I've found a little bit of a new sound, especially with this new record that's coming out. And all that
Oh,
fun
do
stuff.
tell.
So I have a new record coming out. At the moment, we're hoping April 18th, which is my late grandmother's first heavenly birthday. She passed away in January, and actually the song I'm going to do is what I sang at her funeral. But we're really excited about it. It's I grew up on the 90s country when I wasn't going, okay, no country. So it's very 90s, early 2000s inspired, and I'm really excited about it. It's called Steel Guitars and Broken Hearts, There's a lot of heartbreak songs on it, which is why I'm not doing one of the songs off the record for today, because it is the Easter show. But I'm really excited about it. This is one of the first things that I'm really proud of. I've got incredible musicians on there, some great songwriters. I've written 4 or 5 of them myself with some friends. We mentioned Tanya Reynolds last time. She's on 4 of the songs that are on the record. Ava Page is on one of them.
Ooh, we love me some Ava Page.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
She just sang the national anthem
Yes.
at the Predators
Preds
game,
game.
and oh my gosh.
She killed it.
She did. She did.
I met her a long time ago. I think she was 13. I met her at George Jones. She used to play right before me on the weekends. She's a
Ava's
sweetheart.
the young lady who has gained notoriety for her incredible battle against cancer as childhood cancer.
Leukemia,
and
yeah.
so April is a big month because that's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm glad you mentioned Ava. She's
Yes,
amazing.
she's wonderful. And her mom's amazing too. But the song that's on the record that she wrote is called Pearls and Polyester. And it's one of my favorites on the whole record. So
Will you play the song that you wrote for your grandmother? I always think my father had a homecoming during Easter, and there are a lot of the I say the best people like to go home around the Easter season, and so your grandmother did too.
yeah, so this isn't a song that I wrote. I wanted to. Jimmy Fortune wrote this song.
Oh, couldn't get anybody.
I know. I know. I was like, I guess I'll go for Jimmy Fortune, but
with the Statler brothers, who his first song he ever wrote in his life was a song called Elizabeth. That's his first song. Okay, come on.
Yep. And this is my favorite. The first time I ever heard him sing it was on a show. Him and Dalen Vincent, they did it. He didn't think he could get through it, so they started singing. And they said, "No, Jimmy, you do the second verse." And I bawled my eyes out. Jimmy's a wonderful man, but. When I see the sunrise in the morning, when I feel the wind blow across my face, when I hear the sound of children play, I know it's all part of God's amazing grace. And I believe there's a place called heaven. And I believe in a place called Calvary. And I believe that He gave His life for me. Now I was there the day my mama went to heaven. I held her hand as she closed her eyes to speak. I felt the power of 10,000 angels take her soul away to be crowned at Jesus' feet. And I believe there's a place called heaven. And I believe in a place called Calvary. I believe in a man, his name is Jesus. And I believe that He gave His life for me. Yes, I believe that He gave His life for me. Some Jimmy Fortune.
No, that's Kayla Wass right there. With that voice, I am so grateful you decided on country. It would have been so wasted on rap.
Well, you know.
How do they get this new record? Where can they get it? When it
It'll
comes
be
out?
released anywhere that you can download or stream music. So Apple Music, Amazon Music, iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, and I will have physical copies hopefully in the next month or two.
I always say be nice to the servers that greet you anywhere in Nashville, because that's the kind of talent that comes to this town, and you just never know, and it's just amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all
Thank you
having
for
me.
visiting again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Whew. I almost can't speak after that, but we're going to.
We're gonna try.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up with our family member.
Okay.
Miss Stephanie Miller is in This Week in Clarksville, and Mornings on Main Street host Stephanie Miller joins us, and we're going to talk about what we do for Easter. Be right back.
My goodness.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back to the Omni. John Dwyer along with Devon O'Day, and we say, well, I wouldn't say the best for last, but she's made her mark in a very short amount of time here in Nashville, and we're gonna talk about it.
Stephanie Miller, you are everywhere now. You're covering everything. I like how someone takes work and turns it into date night.
It is always.
You and your husband are going to everything in this town together.
He is with me all the time, and people actually ask, like, is that your helper? Like, is he, does
Is
he
he a
work with
staff
you?
member?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm like, actually, no, that's just my husband, or not just my husband. That's my husband, and this is our time.
Mm-hmm.
So we love it. He loves it, I think.
That's so cool. Well, you're talking about a lot about This Week in Clarksville. What's the hottest thing happening in Clarksville right now?
There's quite a bit going on. There's actually an interview I recently did with the YAPAC Outreach, and they do a lot not only in Clarksville, but throughout Middle Tennessee, as well as branching into Texas to help either the underprivileged or those that don't have a place to live, those that have just unfortunate circumstances. So that is a story that's coming up this week that is nice to share and let people know more about.
Yeah, tell a little bit of people about your background, and you've been doing journalism, and you've been in this a long time, and now you've kind of found this wonderful calling up in Montgomery County.
It is a blessing. So I started back in 2008. I was in Greenville, Mississippi, where I started as an evening reporter and then a co-anchor spot on the anchor desk there in Greenville at WXVT. After that, I made my way up to Evansville, Indiana, where I was able to start in a morning reporter role. I took over the anchor desk there for a short period and then helped to create Local 7 Lifestyles, which is still on air now. But I was one of the creators of that 1-hour program. After that, went back to school for a little bit, and then went to Albany, Georgia. Was at WFXL there, and then got promoted within the company and went to Toledo, to the NBC affiliate in Toledo, where I helped to launch their midday show. And then after that in Paducah, Kentucky, and that's where my last news station, the NBC affiliate there, WPST, Local 6.
No call letters on her resume at all. My goodness, I'm exhausted.
It would be a really heavy charm bracelet at this point.
It would, but being in local news and me doing it for long, you see the sausage being made, and it's just wonderful to be able to be kind of on your own agenda and tell good stories, right?
It's positive, and that is really nice. I'm not. I've had the blessing of sharing some hard stories.
Sure.
To sharing, some rough things that have happened, but it is nice to focus on the positive, the uplifting, the just informational stories that are out there.
I just like that you were a clogger.
Oh my gosh, buck dancer.
A closet,
actually.
a what?
Buck dancing.
Buck dancer.
Okay, I didn't.
Mr.
okay.
Robert Spicer, come on, let's share the story because all our Dixon people know exactly
Yes.
what we're talking about.
Robert Spicer and the Dixon County Buck Dancers. I was with him from the time I was 4.5 till I was about, I want to say, 13. But for quite some time, and actually talked with his daughter through messenger on Facebook not that long ago. So they have a festival coming up in Dixon, and I cannot wait to highlight that.
You'll
because
cover that. I heard
most-
her coming down the hallway, by the way, when she was.
I mean, if you bring out a dancing board, this girl is hot. I mean, she is
100%.
on it.
There
She
is
on it.
nothing. I actually went to Mule Day on Saturday and was hoping to catch the bluegrass, but I was a little early, so they didn't start playing Saturday. I don't think until 6.
Would you have danced?
100. I had my shoes in the car. They're still in my
knew
car
it.
right now.
I knew
Yes,
it.
I take them everywhere, just in case.
I knew it.
And along with your husband, right?
Yes.
So you're wearing blue. You want to put
I
on
would
us our ears?
love that.
Okay, real quick, Easter
Okay.
plans?
Not be as lost as an Easter egg, I guess. I don't know. Just
feel that.
kind of stay low and take in some services and think of my mom, because my mom,
We both talked about
yeah.
it. His mom left on Easter. My dad went home on Easter, and you just.
I lost my mother November 14th.
Easter is a time of remembrance, and to remember that there is a forever land where they wait for us.
Yeah.
And it's going to get me teared up. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to go to a new church I found in Lebanon, Tennessee, Hillcrest Baptist Church. I just found a new church. So I'm really excited about that.
Do they know you're coming? I mean, do I need to warn them, or
I
do
might
we?
need to.
I mean, like-
Don't say SOL.
No, I won't. But
I want him to let me come in the church
you'll be there at least once.
at least once. At least once.
They will welcome you with open arms.
And you got Easter plans, you and your hubby?
We'll continue celebrating his birthday, which is Friday. So happy birthday to my husband, Stephen. A happy early birthday. But probably a church service, and that would really be the day.
That'll be the day. Well, if you want to come to celebrate brunch anytime other than Easter, remember, you can make reservations from now until the end of time on all the reservation platforms, or just call the Omni and make reservations. Okay. Kitchen Notes is a great place for brunch. And now, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday brunch, open till close. And speaking of close, it's time.
Hey, keep up the good work. You're
Thank
doing
you.
great. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you guys very much.
We love you so much.
You were so sweet.
You're like a little spark plug. I just love talking about her. She is. She's like a little spark plug.
Just give me coffee and I'm on the go.
Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. The Omni, everybody here treats us as well, and they let me in, so this is good.
And Blue Velvet. It's all because of that.
You can pet me all you want.
We're
gonna edit that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to Lindley. I mean, it's like all the time. You never know. I'm Devon O'Day, and I'm so glad that you joined us. Thank you, John Dwyer.
Yeah, John Dwyer. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Did I